Me just a second, y'all. Just blasting this out, and we'll get it rolling like always. All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Timeout with Coach Cam. I'm excited to get underway. Hey, we had to do a pop-up show. Too much was going on. A blockbuster deal today, a huge blockbuster deal. A multi-team trade that obviously landed James Harden to Brooklyn. So we'll discuss that. We'll discuss, a little bit of Kyrie Irving and the Ohio State and Bama national title game. So it's going to be a great show. Tune in and be ready to comment. Like I say in the comments, I respond to those. We respond to those as well. So comment, like, and share. All right, let's get it on.
Timeout, overtime, hot take, debate, penalty by so many options. We on the way. Unapologetic opinions, guests checking in, so I share on my social. Merch going up, my brother, he going global. Ads hold it down for the ladies, they need their own show. But we right back with it. Timeout with Coach Cam, we shouldn't miss a minute. Yeah. But we right back with it. Timeout with Coach Cam, we shouldn't miss a minute. Yeah.
Yep, we are here on a Wednesday night to discuss some NBA, man, and we're gonna also touch on that national title game. However, I have to bring in my co-host Tori. How's it going? Good evening.
No. Good evening to you. Not bad, not bad.
Hey, it was a busy day. It was a busy day. And we was like, you know what, we gotta pop up and do something. We ain't let nobody know, but we had to discuss it because this trade, obviously, you kind of knew it was coming. Uh, we'll jump straight into it. It was a blockbuster trade. Uh, 4 team deal. It ended up turning out. And just to give you the specifics of the trade, um, the Nets received James Harden. Rockets received Victor Oladipo, Dante Exum. I'm gonna try to pronounce his name correct. Radinos Karuks. Four first round picks and 4 pick swaps. The Pacers received Karis LeVert, and the Cavs received Jared Allen and Torian Prince. Uh, Now we kind of figured. Well, we talked about did anybody want James Harden? We discussed that Sunday morning, and we was like, we don't know if anybody wants James Harden. Kind of the talks kind of died down. Everything just kind of went away. However, the statement he made last night
Yes.
opened the floodgates, where he said, I love Houston, but I did all I could do here. This team is basically said the team ain't no good. Um, with that, I'm like, come on though, James. They gave you everything you wanted. So, what's the real reason why it didn't work? Or is the team not good? It's centered around you. The common denominator has been James Harden. You put CP3 in, James Harden's been there. You put in Russ, James Harden's been there. You put in Dwight Howard, James Harden's been there. Doesn't matter. It seems like whatever star you put around him just didn't quite work. But this here is a blockbuster deal. And I'm going to ask you, how do you feel about the trade? And I'm going to also ask, who do you think won the trade out of all the teams here that's included in this draft? In this trade, you have the Nets, Rockets, Pacers, or Cavs here.
So initially, as we talked about on Sunday, I thought the market for James Harden had dried up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I didn't feel that there was anybody necessarily out there that would want him. Of course, he made his statement last night. After that, you just pretty much, you're causing division amongst the team. You don't want to be there at this point. The Rockets, I felt, were right by getting what they could.
Mm-hmm.
And for certain, for me, no doubt, I think Rockets won this.
Mm.
Uh, they received quite a bit, in my opinion. Uh, that they had how many four picks, four first round
For
picks,
a first round pick and
four
four pick
picks,
swaps, so
swap
they can
pick
swap
swaps.
for the higher pick. Yes.
On top of that, they I mean they didn't walk away with. I mean, obviously you lose James Harden. That was who you centered your team around.
Hmm.
Uh, but I mean, in return, they get Victor.
Hmm.
Uh, I think who will. I mean, we all know Victor he can score. I think the Rockets will be just fine. Uh, Cavaliers got slightly better.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn, I mean, they get James Harden, but there's also some trouble in Brooklyn right now. So uh, I think that might have also been in response to some trouble in Brooklyn as well.
I agree with that. Seemed like it had been a sense of urgency there to make this move. Because it wasn't no sense of urgency when first two games of the season they was blasting everybody and everything seemed all good. Kyrie and Kevin Durant was scoring 30 points a night each. Uh, you know, overall, when I look at this trade, when I look at the trade, obviously what stand out is what the Rockets got. Not only the Rockets got Victor Oladipo, um, four first round picks is huge. Because
Very huge.
Victor Oladipo, what's the thing is he could be a free agent at the end of this year, which is good for the Rockets because that free up money. If they want to sign, it's kind of like a trial year. Do they want to sign Victor Oladipo, keep Walling Oladipo with Cousins, try to build around that, or do you want to be like, hey, Oladipo didn't work out, so hey, you go free agency, we keep our money. They have plenty to build around. Um, you know, but overall, they say who won the trade. I like two teams that won this trade. You know, Obviously, if you're the Nets, you have James Harden. There's a top five player in the NBA, or however you want to rank him, maybe top 10, however you want to rank him. He's definitely a solid player. And you put that with KD. You talk about two of the best scorers, arguably that we've ever seen on one team. Uh, Houston had to do this. They had to break up the team. They were probably
Yeah.
about a year too late, to be honest. But at least they got a nice haul in return. I like what the Pacers did, because Oladipo
Oh,
was going to leave anyway,
right.
and you get a young player like Karis LeVert, who honestly, you put him on a team like the Pacers, he gonna give you 20. He's a scorer. He can score with anybody, I think. And if you put him on a Pacers team. Now you got Karras that's motivated to play, and then you still got
Absolutely.
some bonus with them. You got Brogdon, Miles Turner. Now, I mean, that's a solid team in the East. But with the Nets, you got to roll the dice. You got to roll the dice because you arguably you have one of the best top two, however you rank it, players in the game right now with Kevin Durant, and you can't waste your time with him at all. Because KD has that kind of personality where if things don't look right, he up out of there, and so you
Mhm.
can't play with that. But the thing is, this has to work. This has to work right away because if it doesn't, I'll tell you right now, if it doesn't, the Nets can look like what it looked like before, and is that's not good. And that's not good. And what I mean by that is they traded before. They traded all their picks, all their pieces for Kevin Garnett, for Paul
Mhm.
Pierce,
Here's.
Jason Terry, and
Mhm.
all them people, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
it didn't work.
Didn't
And
work
then
out.
guess what? They got left stinking and they sucked for years. This could be the same thing that happened if they don't work. Because after next year, KD can opt out, Kyrie can opt out, Harden can opt out. And they can be stuck right again with no future draft picks and a bum roster. So this has to work. And what I mean by work, they have to win a championship out of this.
Oh.
There's no, going to the finals and lose. They have to win a championship out of this, or it's a major failure and it sets the Nets back. But the Nets are looking to win now. Rockets had to look long term. I think this was. Um,
Mhm.
they end up getting the best deal for them. And I'm sorry, a lot of people like what the Cavs. What the hell is the Cavs doing?
I'm not sure as far as why they even got involved. Like I said, think they got slightly better. The two, and I just say that. I
I
mean,
don't.
I don't know exactly what they're. I mean, it was either hey, let's just try
They just want
something
to join the party, see what
party or
they can.
something at that point, get the name out there, get some media. I don't know. Um,
I don't get it. Jared
Giving a
Allen.
favor to somebody, I'm not sure, but I'm not sure why they entered, but I they get slightly better.
I guess. I mean, Jared Allen is a nice young center. I like that, but I don't understand getting a nice young center when you have the Andre Drummond
Andre
already.
Jordan, already. Mhm.
Uh, you know, uh, they have Andre Drummond in Cleveland. They have JaVale McGee in Cleveland, and you add a third player that plays just like them. I don't understand. Torian Prince is a nice player, can defend,
I would
hit
say
the
Torian
open
Prince
three.
was the
That's
slightly
okay, but
better part.
unless they're planning on trading Andre Drummond later and flip him for some pieces, that's the only way I can see this because if not, you got three centers that play the exact same way, that play the exact same style. And I don't see that working for Cleveland. But you like what the Rockets did. Obviously, I love what the Rockets got. I like what the Pacers got. Ended up getting Karis LeVert out of the deal, especially when he was going to let Oladipo walk for nothing. So to be able to get him, I think was a solid kind of save there for the Pacers. And let's check some of these. Excuse me, some of these
So
comments
real
here.
quick, do you feel
Go ahead.
Pacers are in rebuild mode now?
No, I think they right where they are. Pacers are a small market team. They'll never get a high price free agent. So with the Pacers, they right where they're gonna be. They're gonna finish about fifth or sixth in the East. They'll be a playoff team. They're gonna lose in the first round. I mean, that's just what they do every year. Pacers don't tank. They don't try to lose. They try to do their best they can to put a decent roster together, but it's never enough because they can't never get that star to stay for a long
Mm-mm.
period of time. Like with Paul George, eventually he ended up leaving. That was the closest thing they got to the finals since Reggie Miller. So,
Reggie Miller, yeah,
yep. So let's go to these comments here. My man Mike, the comment, a lot of history there. Short term Nets, long term Rockets. That's pretty much what it
absolutely.
is there. I agree with you there. Jay Coop, Kyrie acted like he don't want to play ball no more. We'll touch that very soon there. We'll definitely touch on Kyrie. Let's see here. We got our guy Steve here, two of the best scorers in the last 25 years. I agree with that. When you talk about someone like James Harden and Kevin Durant playing with each other, I mean, it is what it is. Speaks for itself. We'll never find three better ISO scorers in league history. That's possibly true. That's possibly.
I I don't see all three of them working together. I notice how everybody is referring to Harden and Durant, Harden and Durant. Those two dynamics can work together. I can see that. But when you throw in Kyrie, it's questionable.
Hmm. I agree there. Set the Nets back. I don't see this team winning at all. That's interesting. It can cause some friction there. I just want to see everybody on the court at once. I want to see how that goes. That's going to be very, very interesting to see how that goes there, especially with all three. With all three players on the court with their egos and their dynamic. I'm just anxious to see how it works. Let's see here. Cavaliers are trying. They trying, but they ain't doing nothing. They got a team full of forwards and centers. I mean, you talk about JaVale McGee,
And a
Jared
guard
Allen,
NBA.
Andre Drummond, Kevin Love. Uh, they got Larry Nance. I'm talking about. I just named out five power forwards and centers. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I just don't know what they're doing. Only way Cleveland makes the news cycle. I guess so. They had to throw their name in there. I just didn't understand. that at all. Nets will still not win coming out east, Miami or Philly. Um, I, Philly, Philly is solid. They are. Maybe Doc River helps them mentally. I don't know. I just think they're mentally weak. When I look at Embiid, and Embiid is balling this year. I think Doc Rivers got him on another focus level. But to me, it's Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
It,
exactly.
they're going to go far as Ben Simmons take them. And I just don't see that dog in him. He reminds me a lot of Lonzo and how he don't just take over games like I feel like Ben Simmons should. You're 6'10", you're 6'11", you're 240, 250 pounds. Can run the point guard, one of the better passers in this game. And I just don't see enough from him on the night in and night out basis to pick Philly. Um, I just want him to just be able to shoot at least a mid range. I'm not asking for a three. I'm asking for a decent mid range jumper for defenses to respect you. And the fact that he just won't even chuck one up, it is just kind of disgusting to me. I can't pick Philly on that. But we're gonna move on here because we've been talking about Harden, like you said, we've been talking about KD, but there's a third dynamic here, and this dynamic is a real wild card. Um, Kyrie Irving, Kyrie Irving, um, he has went AWOL on the Brooklyn Nets. He has missed the past 4 games due to personal reasons. Now it comes out that he's possibly was partying with his friends. He was on a Zoom chat call, with some kind of some capital officials and different things like that. Um, my my question to you, and it's okay if he wants to do other things and make change, that's fine. But do you feel like it's time for Kyrie Irving to step away from the NBA for a minute?
Being, it's very hard for me to even say this, being an advocate for Kyrie Irving, uh, can ball. But I do feel Kyrie is starting to move past his role in the NBA.
Mm,
He seems to be wants to be more of an activist, in my opinion, versus an NBA player nowadays. And it's part of the reason why I think Brooklyn moved the way that they did today. Is you got your other star player not showing up for 4 games at this point. You got to do something. I feel like this was a let me cover our butts and
mm,
let's go ahead and make this trade. And like you said, you can't leave KD out there by himself. When you look at Kyrie, he seems to be more into the boycotting what's currently going on and wanting to move on and social events. He was caught at it was his sister's birthday party, where he was dancing. Uh, it just doesn't seem that his focus is basketball anymore.
yeah,
And
yeah.
in my opinion, for the Brooklyn Nets and for Kyrie himself, perhaps retirement is not a bad idea.
Yeah, and I agree, man. And it's like if he wants to be an activist, if he wants to, make the world make change and those type of things, he could do that. But don't hold up, you know, a whole NBA team, and a roster spot because you make. I mean, at the end of the day, I just no matter how you want to flip it, you're making millions and millions and
Mm-hmm.
millions and millions of dollars, and a young, player would love to have a roster spot. That's just it with me. However, what's got me confused is does he just want to make change overall, or was this something that what happened on Capitol Hill kind of prompted him to do this? Because if so, for me it's like, why stop for this? Why stop playing basketball or doing what you love, or actually cut your platform underneath you as the NBA, which you can reach millions and millions of people, you cut that out from under you because you're not playing. And then it's like if it's for the capital reason, it's like I'm confused, bro. Now because I said this before, if you want to stop playing for social justice, do that, please. You want to stop playing for the unarmed or the unjust killings of African Americans, do that. But you want to stop playing because a group of people didn't get their way in a vote and they acted a fool. Like, are we I mean, that's to me. It's like, why? Why even give them that satisfaction? Keep playing. This ain't nothing to stop for. I'm sorry, it's not. It's just a honestly to me, it's a bunch of spoiled brats that didn't get their way and charged their way up there. That's what it is to me. This for me, Kyrie. This was not a reason to stop playing, and I kind of echo the sentiments of Shannon Sharp. The hell with that? Keep playing. This ain't nothing to stop for. Now, if you want to stop for unjust killings, that's fine. You want to stop for social change, that's fine. You want to stop for prison reform, like Maya Moore? She didn't hold up the Minnesota Lynx. She said, I'm gonna step away from the game and I'm gonna work on this prison reform, and that's what she's doing. But she's not holding up a whole organization. She's not holding up the whole WNBA, or
Right.
taking us, holding a roster spot, and she or just went AWOL and not playing. That's the issue to me. It's not that he wants to make change. I'm all for that. It's like if you want to do it, just step away from the game for a while. You know, take your focus on that. That's my issue.
I also think that Kyrie is particularly. I think his mental health might need to be checked. Well, I agree with you that this wasn't the event to stop playing for. This isn't his first. This isn't his first attempt. This isn't his first act, in my opinion. I think that it's been a long time brewing.
Oh yeah.
Uh, if he doesn't seem to, and then it was rumored that he was to be upset with Brooklyn for not being more involved on the head coach pick, and that he was not in favor of Steve Nash. So at this point, is Kyrie Irving pleasable? Uh,
I,
I
at
I
this
just
point,
I
at
just
this point,
it's
what you said was perfect before when you said I think he outgrow this role in the NBA. I think it's to the point where I don't think he cares about basketball anymore. He's really really good at it,
yeah.
and he can play. He's still a top tier NBA player. I just don't think he cares right now. And if that's the case, you guys do, the Nets got to figure out something. Kyrie has to figure out something. And this is where I say where Brooklyn's in trouble, and where if they don't win in a couple years, they're going to be out of everything, out of picks, out of stars, and they're going to try out there a 15 to 20 win team because this has to work. It just simply has to work. And just to touch on Jacob's comment, that dude Wired for real, started with the Earth is flat BS. Now wants to know who Nash supports when it comes to politics. Man, play ball or move on. Now I didn't hear about that. So that could have been a thing too. Like maybe, but it's just like you can't control what people think, or how people, or what people believe in. Long as you know they're not for obviously what's wrong is wrong. What I mean, that's the whole thing. You can believe in one thing, but what's right is right and wrong is wrong. But something has to come of this because at some point he either has to show up or he's gonna have to step away and retire for a little minute. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that if you're Kyrie Irving. But if you're gonna be a social, be that. Um, but I would think he would want to keep his NBA platform while making change. I mean, LeBron has made change for years, and he hasn't stopped playing basketball.
The thing with Kyrie is that he doesn't really say what his purpose is.
I don't
He
like
just
what.
he just I didn't feel like playing. if you're going to be an activist, give us a reason. Is that why you stopped playing, or
Yep,
did Kyrie really just not feel like playing?
yep. And I think that's the thing too. He's not giving us a reason why. So it's making him look bad
Yes.
because we don't know if he just don't want to play or what. We don't know. He said, "Wow." I mean, it could be bad. I don't know. I mean, it would be better when he wants to lead the team if it's on. This ain't even got nothing to do with it at this point. I think it's something else. He knew K when you playing with KD. You know you ain't the alpha male. You know you're not the number one option. Even though KD is that type of personality where he gonna he'll let a Kyrie cook. He played with Russ for crying out loud. So he can play with pretty much anybody who play with Russ. But I thought Kyrie would be locked in and would be more committed to what they're trying to do as far as win an NBA championship. I don't think he expected this coming in, coming to Brooklyn there. All right, uh, one more topic and we're gonna head out. I'm sorry, J. Coop, but we gotta do it. Ohio State versus Alabama. That happened Monday night, the national championship game, and it was a lot of anticipation coming into this game. A lot of people, including myself, honestly, I thought Ohio State had a chance. I didn't say necessarily that they'll win, but I really, really thought they would have a chance in making this competitive. Um, that looked like that wasn't the case Monday night, as we seen Alabama put on a dominant performance, a performance that really was kind of, I'm not gonna say one for the ages, but it was really dominant. And you just read out some of the things that Alabama did. You had Mac Jones, 36 of 45, 464 yards, 5 touchdowns. Najee Harris with 79 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also had 79 yards catching and a touchdown. So he had 3 total touchdowns as well, with over 158 total yards. And then the star of the night, wide receiver Devontae Smith,
Nice.
12 catches, 215 yards, and 3 scores. On Ohio State, on Ohio State end, just couldn't really get nothing going. Really was kind of back and forth there. The fourth quarter, the beginning of the second, and then it just kind of got away from them a little bit. Um, Honestly, if you're an Ohio State fan, if you're, Ohio State, there's nothing to hang your head about. Um, Looking at the game, really, I know a lot of people wanted to get on Kerry Combs. I did too, the defensive coordinator for Alabama, leaving linebackers on the field. But the thing is, if you take a linebacker off and you add a DB on the field, you're not going to be able to tackle Najee Harris. That was the issue. It was taking 4 or 5 people to tackle him as he is with linebackers on the field. So you take one of those off, you're definitely not going to be able to tackle him. Okay? That's the thing. And playing zone, that wasn't going to work, obviously. So they had to go man, which you're not going to keep up with the speed. They were really just in a no win situation.
Situation. Hmm.
And that's what I saw from the game there. Nobody was beating Alabama this year. That's what it comes down to. Just like last year, nobody was beating LSU with Joe Burrow. Nobody was beating Alabama this year. I mean, you can say what you want. I understand, Ohio State had some people out, but to me, it just didn't matter. It didn't matter at all. Um, and Devontae Smith will show why he was the Heisman Trophy winner. Humble young guy. But to cap it off, and cap this show off. And I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna keep saying it. I do not want to hear excuses for keeping smaller schools out like UC, like Coastal Carolina, like other power group of 5 schools that may have this opportunity. I don't want to hear the excuse that it's going to be a blowout. Guess what? We did not see a good game in this whole playoff. Every game was a blowout. From Alabama, 31-14 in Notre Dame, and really it seemed like Alabama just took the foot off the gas and stopped playing against Notre
Hmm.
Dame. And then we went to Ohio State. They blasted Clemson, 49-28. They lost by 3 scores. Then we go to the national championship game. Alabama beats Ohio State by 3 scores. Where's the good game? Where is where's the
What's the
competitive?
competition?
Where's the competitiveness? So if that's going to be the case, give everybody a chance. Shit, I mean, what's the difference with getting blown out 52-24 or 52-10? It doesn't matter. I mean, you're getting blasted at that point. Give everyone a chance. And guess what? I looked at the viewers. That national championship game got the least amount of views since '04. So you know what that means? People are tired of seeing the same teams. We're tired of seeing the same outcome. We always see Ohio State. We always see Bama. We always see Clemson every year. And then you maybe rotate between Oklahoma and who was in there this year? Notre Dame. That's it. That's all we ever see. And it gets old. It gets old after a while. Give some of these other teams a shot. Let them get blasted. Jay Coop said open the playoffs to more teams. You can expand it to 8. That's fine. I'm down with that. But if you're going to expand it to 8, make sure that one group of 5 school gets a chance to get in there. Because what's so crazy to me is that, well, okay, we did finish 8. So if it was an 8-game playoff, we would have got in at 8, which is still ridiculous. But I just feel like something has to change. Something has to change with college football because the viewers is going down in these national title games. Nobody wants to see it because it's the same teams, and it's going to be pretty much the same outcome. We know who's going to win these games for the most part, and it's not even fun to watch anymore. So that's it. We wanted to just try to really touch on that trade because that trade was wild to say the least. I didn't expect it to be that many pieces and parts moving, but hey, but one thing we should say here before we get off is James Harden. How long is it gonna take for him to get in shape, Tori?
I don't know. James Harden been a little
Because this is
careless.
what he looking like right
He been a little careless, and I'll give him a couple weeks, maybe.
now. Couple weeks. I
Couple
mean,
weeks.
and what's so funny is he obviously did this on purpose. It's like because I know you've seen the pictures of him over the summer. He was real thin.
Mhm.
And he was lean, and I'm like, dang, okay, James, how are you? Thinner than I ever seen you. And then you come in a training camp, blown up. I'm like, unbelievable. You that big? I mean, he huge too. He big too. Now I understand. J. Coop. J. Coop said Browns won. I told you. I got that money.
Yeah.
Hey, get that money, J. Coop. That's what I'm talking about. I'm happy you won, man, because yeah, it'd be rough. I know some people that went the other way and it didn't work out. It didn't work out well for him. So I'm happy you won that there. But yeah, he gonna have to get in shape quick because this is gonna be interesting. They're gonna be firing up threes in Brooklyn like crazy. Uh,
Mhm.
you got Nash and now you got Harden back with Nash and D'Antoni and KD. You're firing them up. I just want to see Kyrie. I want to see it. I want to see the three together. I want to see the dynamic. But
I
I
would
don't.
love to see the three,
I don't
but I
even know
do
if we're gonna
not
see
see it.
Kyrie this year. I think Kyrie
Exactly,
might be done for the year.
and
That's
that's
my that's,
the
that's my
the
hot
problem.
take before we leave. Kyrie Irving, we will not see him for the rest of the year. There it
Hmm.
is. All righty, that's it. It's getting late. Uh, Thank y'all everybody for tuning in. Remember, always like, comment, and share. But we will be back Sunday morning, and we out.
Timeout, overtime, hot take, debate, penalty by so many options. We on the way. Unapologetic opinions, guests checking in, so I share on my social. Merch going up, my brother he going global. Ass hold it down for the ladies, they need their own